I made this card for Blog Hop for my Inky Oasis compadres, and some people had asked me how I had made the slider part of this card, and I thought I would record it and see if I can recreate it so that people can see the process of making it. So obviously it just slides up and down, and I wanted the leaves flying up with the hedgehog. The hedgehogs are from a My Favorite Things Happy Hedgehogs stamp set. The slider mechanism is from this Surf and Turf die set from My Favorite Things. And the leaves are from Jump for Joy by Fawn. And so is the sentiment. So let's see what we can do here. First of all, I went ahead and I colored all of my pieces and cut them out because I didn't think you really needed to see all of that. If anybody has any questions about colors that were used, just message me. I'll be happy to share that with you. I also went ahead and prepped my card background. I used tumbled glass distress ink on the top and blended it with an ink blender over the entire thing, making it lighter as I got to the bottom. And then I used bundled sage and mowed lawn distress inks at the bottom. I used a piece of fullback sticky note and cut it to mask this area off when I did the greens, and then I just reused it to hold this die in place, getting the most bang for my buck here. And so I had laid down my leaf mounds to get an idea of where my hedgehog would have to sit, obviously behind this, to line this piece up. And so after doing that, I taped it down, ran it through my cut and emboss. The next step is to take these leaf mounds once again, place the hedgehog behind here, and carefully lay these down, because in order to make it not look like a tall stack of leaves, I had taken one of these piles of leaves and cut this piece around the edges of the leaves to go on each side. So in order to place those, I put the leaves in place just so they'd have proper alignment here. And I will take my glue and glue these in place. Piper's decided that she wants my undivided attention here. Last night when I was trying to record this the first time, she decided that she wanted to get up in my face and give me kisses. She's like the child that never gets attention except she's on 4 legs. Okay, place this one. Glue wants to be it's cold in here this morning, so it's not moving quite as nicely as it usually does. Okay, so both of those are in place. so the hedgehog can slide back and forth. Make sure that that's going to cover all the bare area. Okay. Whoops. Now look what I did there. Slid it up with my finger. The slider channel builder by My Favorite Things is what I had used to make the slider mechanism. Here's the die cut, and I had it on here before the camera cut off on us, and I had cut it out of Fun Foam with Elizabeth Craft dual-sided sticky on each side, and then I put a piece of 110-pound Neenah Solar White, and I ran it through the die cut machine. The piece that's here in the front is from Surf and Turf by My Favorite Things also. And the stamp set is Happy Hedgehogs by My Favorite Things. And the leaves and the sentiment are from Jump for Joy by Lawn Fawn. I had placed this piece that I cut out and lined it up. I also had pre-cut the pull tab. I cut 2 of them just in case I needed to link them together, because I did on the previous card. And it's probably easier if you place this in here to line this up so that it stays pretty snug to the sides. And you just want to make sure it can move in there freely. And the next thing that I did was I took a little bit of glue and ran it just on this section that I left in there so that the blue would show through instead of it being white. And then press down and let it dry. Now, as you can see, this does not go up here where it needs to be. So that's why I had cut 2 of them. I'll let that dry. It doesn't take very long. And matter of fact, I can pull this piece off. And let that set down in there good. Okay, now that that is in place, we will make the part for the leaves to attach to so that they can pop up. So you need the little hedgehog back here and the leaf piles. Oh, let me back up just a minute. First of all, because I had jumped ahead a little bit in all this recording and having to re-record, I have this piece done, but I'm going to show you how I made it. I took this We Are Memory Keepers thumb punch and put a piece of acetate in just to where the bottom edge is so that it punches it completely out. And for some reason, why are we not punching? Okay. Well, something's going on with my punch. Well, I can't get it to go back, and I'm going to have to mess with this. I don't know what is going on with it. But anyway, you punch it out. When you do punch it out, you get this little piece, and you punch out 2 of them. So then you take the score tape, and I placed 2 pieces on each side, and then I peeled this protective covering off of one of them. I had cut these little tiny strips of acetate to attach the leaves to, and you place them on this strip, on this little thumb punch out, so that they kind of splay out. They're hard to pick up. And the reason I put sticky on both sides is to make sure that they stayed in place. So they're kind of sandwiched. What didn't catch on one would catch on another. So you kind of make it look like a turkey's behind. So these pieces are on here. Then you'll put the other piece on the top by removing the protective coating. And then you take this piece and you put a piece of score tape on it, peel off the protective coating, and apply it to the back of the hedgehog's head. Now, these little splines are longer than this. I had prepared this one in the many times that I've had to try to record this. I placed the hedgehog in place and put the leaf piles on top of it. And then I placed my leaves. So, if I move this up like it's supposed to be, so that the leaves look like they're part of the pile. And I placed them around, and then I trimmed off a piece of it that was sticking out, you know, on each one, so that they were the proper length. Then I'm gonna go back and place score tape on each one of these splines and apply the leaves. And it's just a little teeny tiny piece of score tape that's put on each one. Okay, I have score tape on each one of these splines, and I'm going to start placing these leaves in place. Now this is fun to get off of here. And I just kind of placed them different ways. Pick this up from behind here. Whoops. And I put this big leaf back here. It just depends on how these things fall into place. But I didn't want the big leaf covering up all the little ones. So I've got him all decorated up there. I just want to make sure that those leaves are where I want them. Now that those are all in place, I need to take and put a little piece of score tape on this track. And peel this up. And place him down. I had made a pencil mark to kind of cheat so that I didn't have to keep lining him up again. And I'm gonna go back and erase that now. I just want to make sure that it's gonna slide. And it slides pretty good there. I took some dimensionals by Stampin' Up! And I placed them on each corner of where my hedgehog was going to go. And I did the same thing on this. Because you don't want them in the middle, otherwise he's not going to slide back and forth. And I just place that down. And then I'm going to put this one on. And he's all hidden behind the pile of leaves. And I must have gotten him stuck a little bit. Let's see here. Maybe my dimensional got on my... Ah, it did. Alright. I'd gotten one of my leaves stuck. Ah, there it goes. And it's a whole lot easier to slide when this whole thing's together. I'm being kind of clumsy with it right now. There we go. But once the rest of this is, it's kind of moving back here while I'm trying to slide it. So it's not doing the best in the world. Found out what is going on with the camera. Evidently the memory's full and it decides to cut off every few seconds. I've tried to delete a few things. Hopefully we can get through this. But I had placed this extra slide pull tab and I cut a slit in here. What I did was I put this behind it and made a pencil mark on each side and then used a metal ruler and an X-Acto knife and I cut the slit in there. Put it in. Put score tape on the back of here. Pulled this off. Made sure that the blue part was inside the window and pressed this down. So that's what it looks like there. And then the mushrooms were glued to the top. Actually, I think I had wanted this over there. Put this one over here. Let's see if And the only thing left to do and I just realized that I made a boo-boo. This, I believe, was supposed to go over top. Because in my other one, I don't have either that or this sliding mechanism is coming up further on this card. I may have put a stop on it. I took my card and I put it in my MISTI. Put my sentiment stamps down, close the door, pick them up, and then ink them up with my favorite things, hybrid black licorice ink. And of course, we all know this wonderful thing about the MISTI is if it doesn't stamp well the first time, you can stamp it again. And that's not too bad, but I think I'll hit it one more time. And all that's left to do now is to mount this onto the backer so that it seals all this up. And place my little hedgehog in place that's looking up at his friend flying up out of the leaves. Well, I've applied the foam tape to the back. And now to line it up. Okay, I had put foam tape on the back so that it's the same level as the sliding mechanism. I'm not sure if the video captured it or not because I have been having tremendous problems doing this video. But it's all